of this nation. Unless they come up and determine to change the leadership of this nation.
I believe that over time, with time, we'll definitely have a diaspora voting.
At the end, the speakers unanimously say it is time for the electorate to scrutinize candidates and parties, especially those with formidable ideologies, in order to hold them accountable when they underperform. They, however, say this is the time the church needs to pray and also act. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration has flagged off disbursement of grants to the beneficiaries of the FCT Fadama COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus Project in Kwali, Abuja. FCT Minister of State Ramotu Tijani Aliyu disclosed that the fund is part of the 2.7 billion naira allocated to the FCT by the World Bank. Onoze Yakubu tells us the story.
$15 billion was earmarked for the FCT Fadama COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus Project for the implementation of the three disbursement link indicators. FCT Minister of State Ramotu Tijani Aliyu explained that the program is a World Bank budget support to the FCT administration for non-discretionary expenditure, which is targeted at supporting existing and newly emerging vulnerable and poor households, agricultural value chains, and micro and small enterprises negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. She, however, directed the Agriculture and Rural Development Secretariat to make available to the FCT Fadama Cares project the technical expertise to ensure the successful implementation of the program in the FCT.
The specific objective is to increase food security and safety, safe functioning of the food supply chain in the FCT. The program is deliberately designed to support the recovery of livelihood activities of poor and vulnerable persons engaged in agricultural value chain.
The devastating effect of COVID-19 remain with us. Many businesses collapsed, unemployment rose, farmers could not farm, and many challenges came, thereby resulting to a larger number of people sinking into poverty.
Secretary for Agriculture and Rural Development Secretariat, Abubakar Ibrahim, reveals that the event will empower at first instance 529 farmers drawn from 8 community associations across the 6 area councils.
The FCT Agricultural and Rural Development Secretariat is always ready to provide the FCT Fadama Cares project with the necessary support to ensure that you succeed in delivering this vital project.
The Fadama project was conceived to help states mitigate the negative impact of the pandemic. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Nigerians across the FCT are experiencing epileptic power supply, with the recent situation becoming quite worrisome despite alleged increased tariff. Members of the public are lamenting imposition to correct this anomaly.
Some of them who spoke with Nairametrics in separate interviews explained that it is worrisome that the government allowed the discus to raise electricity tariff amid dwindling power supply witnessed by consumers, which had adversely affected businesses and livelihood, forcing many to resort to alternative power supply.
Very bad. Sometimes 3 days there's no lights. Even though they brought the lights, maybe 1 hour, 30 minutes, the light is up.
On the aspect of our business, virtually almost all businesses that we run here, and the electricity, it's meant to be one of it's a key facilities that should be available much. But I would say in every 24 hours, we don't get up to 4-5 hours in a day.
The AEDC is not unmindful of persistent power supply shortages you have been experienced lately in some parts of the network, and traces one of the problems to load shedding by the transmission as a result of power generation. He added that efforts are on to complete power projects that will enhance supply through the value chain to improve the situation.
We've embarked on several projects, some of these projects in collaboration with other stakeholders, to ensure that we, as quickly as possible, improve the state of power supply to the customers. I'll speak to the first one, which we call the Dawaki TS project. This is actually a transmission project, a TCM project. And the purpose of this project is to evacuate power along that Dawaki stretch. And the areas affected essentially are Kubwa. You know, we spoke earlier about Kubwa, Warimpa, Katampe, Buari. So when the Dawaki project is finished, that stretch of Katampe, Warimpa, Kubwa, and Buari will experience improved supply. The next one is a disco project, which is essentially a distribution company, Abuja electricity project. This will affect customers in Jikoi, Masaka, Oke, and Karo. You know, these are very contentious areas.
However, others blame obsolete transformers for the unstable electricity supply, with an appeal for their replacement and regular maintenance. Aisha Bashir, NTA News.
Following months of epileptic power supply in Abuja, electricity distribution company AEDC says is embarking on 40 quick win project aimed at rehabilitating its network to improve power supply. A statement by its managing director Adeoye Fadeyibi, the projects currently ongoing include deloading the overloaded feeders, acquiring new distribution transformers and repair of 78 existing ones. This is in addition to the ongoing major maintenance on its 34 power transformers, while acknowledging the persistent poor electricity supply in Abuja and environs. AEDC appeals to electricity consumers to be patient as industry players are addressing border challenges of low generation and system instability. The Idu industrial layout is one of the numerous industrial hubs in the country that has the potential opportunities for job creation to the teeming unemployed youths, particularly in Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory. In this special report, Mariam George Jutubo x-rays economic potentials that abound at Idu industrial layout vis-a-vis revenue generation.
Located within the Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, the industrial zone was specifically designed to attract industrial clusters into the nation's capital. Development of the district started in 2002, and the scope of work, being an industrial area, is all about provision of engineering infrastructure consisting of roads, electricity supply, telecommunications facilities, sewage, water, and every other infrastructure that supports production in that axis. Director, Department of Engineering, Design and Evaluation, FCDA, Bello Tunau, speaks on the place of Idu industrial layout in the Abuja Master Plan.
The FCT, if you look at the Master Plan, it has two industrial belts. One on the northern flank, beginning from the Ring Road 2, spanning up to the Ring Road 3, and presently the Idu is split into two. We have Idu 1A and Idu Industrial Area 1B. Now the one presently under development is Idu Industrial Area 1B.
Engineer Bello also revealed that energy is one of the biggest problems that Idu industrial layout is likely to face, but the FCT administration is looking for ways of increasing electricity supply to the FCT, and Idu industrial layout can also benefit from other sources of electricity.
Not too far away from where the industrial area is, we have the Gosa landfill. From the landfill, this waste we generate from the city actually can be converted into electricity and perhaps sold to the industries or factories that are in Idu.
Residents are hopeful that relevant authorities will expedite action by ensuring that construction in the axis is completed in the shortest period of time. Out of about 20 kilometers of the road network, about 17 or 18 kilometers have been fully completed. Mariam George, Jitubo, NTA News.
And to maintain an evergreen and healthy Federal Capital Territory, the Purple Hands Initiative, in partnership with FCT Department for Parks and Recreation, has embarked on yet another tree planting campaign with the slogan, "Go Green, Save the World, save the world. The founder, Brenda Max Ndua-Gulbe, says the importance of tree to the environment and humanity cannot be overemphasized.
The importance of trees to humanity and the environment are numerous.
You can see that in an area like this, we need trees to avoid environmental degradation in forms of erosion, wind. The trees will serve as a breaker in this area. The tree will preserve the soil and the biodiversity in the soil also. The tree will purify the air in this area. The tree will also calm down the resident. As you're coming down here with the tree-lined streets, it brings down your stress. We have a hospital down there also. Patients, there's a study that shows that patients, surgical patients, when they see trees from outside their windows, they heal faster.
Trees also provide food, protection, home for many birds and mammals. The non-profit organization says it has been in partnership with the Department of Parks and Recreation.
And then resist the temptation of cutting trees indiscriminately.
We need to keep the Mother Earth safe for us and for the challenges around us. Sometimes we need a very cool environment with trees where we can look at nature and feel relaxed.
Plants and trees help in the circulation of oxygen. We breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, while the plants take in carbon dioxide and give us oxygen. So with the more or the variety of trees planted around our environment, it enriches the oxygen.
Namadi Sambowe in Kanemo district, they say the environment we do not take care of today will haunt us tomorrow. Volunteers were seen serving humanity through planting. They called on government and good-spirited individuals to key into the project by supporting their programs. Sophia Noma Uche, NTA News.
You're watching the news live on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. More reports will come your way after the break.
Abuja remains unknown, conceived with the intent to ease the flow of traffic in the nation's capital.
Whichever way it turns out, either to consolidate on the existing mandate or institute a new dispensation.
Located within the Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC.
How much do people know about ADR? On the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, look into the situation.
You have to strike a balance to have a future that you don't have to regret.
Like experts say, what kills really is fear.
In Abuja, Onoziaku.
NTA News.
Nations to honor refugees around the globe, as well as celebrate the strength and courage of people who are forced to flee their conflict or persecution. World Refugee Day is an occasion to build empathy and understanding for their plight and to recognize their lives. Residents in rebuilding their lives. Hawagimba takes a look at this.
Established 20th June 2001 in recognition of the 50th anniversary of the 1951 Convention relating to status of refugees. World Refugee Day shines a light on the rights, needs, and dreams of refugees, helping to mobilize political will and resources so refugees can not only survive but also thrive. While it is important to protect and improve the lives of refugees every single day, the day also helped to focus on global attention on the plight of those who are fleeing conflict or persecution. Activities of World Refugee Day create an opportunity to support refugees. The number of people forced to flee include those from conflict, violence, human rights violations, and persecution, which has now surpassed 100 million for the first time on record. Nigeria presently hosts 3.2 million displaced persons, including 82,000 refugees, representing 9% increase from last year. Therefore, World Refugee Day serves as an occasion to raise awareness on the unique health needs of refugees and people on the move and the challenges they may face in accessing quality homes, food, clothing, and most importantly, healthcare during their journeys and in the host country. The aim is to set up efforts worldwide to ensure everyone, everywhere, at any time is able to enjoy the right to basic things of life. Hawagimba, NTA News.
Now, a non-governmental organization known as Meidunama Sickle Cell Foundation has called on government at all levels to initiate policies that can support.
Sickle cell anemia is an inherited disorder caused by a defect in a gene. It comes with periodic and currently, medical experts have continued to